a simmering Sicilian thriller, young cannibals coming of age, a witch cult in a ballet school, a love triangle between tennis players. What do the films of Luca Guadagnino have in common? On the surface, each Guadagnino project appears unrelated to the one that came before it, but look closer and you might start to notice recurring themes and motifs. In fact, Guadagnino's entire filmography can be split into two categories: stories of unconditional love and stories of conditional love. Call Me By Your Name, Bones and All, and the TV series We Are Who We Are all explore the concept of unconditional love, the idea of being accepted and seen for who you really are, and how we often don't fully see ourselves until we see our fears and desires reflected in someone else. But what I want to focus on is the other side of Guadagnino's filmography, the equally complicated and messy notion of conditional love. In his 2015 film A Bigger Splash, a group holiday in Sicily slowly descends into a tense psychosexual drama centered around Marian, a rock star on vocal rest, played by Tilda Swinton. When I revisited the film recently, one image leapt out at me: the sight of Harry and Paul, the two men competing for Marian's attention, reflected in her sunglasses. Guadagnino uses a similar image in Challengers, which, like A Bigger Splash, pits two male characters against each other in a bid to win the affections of Tashi, played by Zendaya. Both films are about talented women who have been physically injured and are no longer able to perform, leading them to leverage their celebrity and sexual identity to maintain their power. In Challengers, Tashi is a rising tennis star who becomes a coach after suffering a career-ending injury. In A Bigger Splash, Marian is recovering from an operation and cannot use her voice. Yet the fame and sexual power she wields slowly strips the other characters of the facades they try to maintain to hide their true selves. Being set on a sunny Mediterranean island, it's no surprise that the characters in A Bigger Splash are often seen wearing sunglasses. But curiously, they never wear sunglasses at the same time. Indeed, Guadagnino highlights specific moments where the characters put on or take off their sunglasses. In this context, sunglasses can be seen as a visual metaphor for the film's shifting power dynamics. The tension in the film comes from the push and pull between how the characters wish to be perceived and how they are actually perceived. And in any given scene, the character wearing sunglasses is usually the one with the most to hide in that moment. But what exactly is each character hiding, and how does Marianne's presence reveal this? The film opens with Marianne on stage. From the start, Guadagnino closely links her onstage persona with her sexual identity, quickly cutting from her performance to her and Paul, played by Matthias Schoenaerts, having sex. This establishes the idea that Marianne's power is a combination of both her public and private personas. Initially alone on the island, Marianne and Paul seem to be truly at peace with one another. However, this dynamic shifts after the arrival of Harry and Penny, played by Ralph Fiennes and Dakota Johnson, Marianne's ex-partner and his 20-something daughter. Paul may have a strong relationship with Marianne, but the air of casual indifference he projects betrays the fact that he is threatened by the history that she shares with Harry. We also learn that Paul attempted suicide a year earlier and is a recovering addict, something that isn't hidden from the rest of the group, but which he doesn't acknowledge or want to talk about. Because the other guests know this about him, it creates a skewed power dynamic between them and makes Paul more vulnerable. It's because of this that when they first meet at the airport, Paul is naturally guarded and, you guessed it, wearing sunglasses. We see this moment from his tinted point of view, but after Marianne greets Harry, she turns to Paul and lifts off his sunglasses, removing his metaphorical shield. Paul doesn't want to appear vulnerable around Harry, but Marianne is the one in control of how he is perceived. In the same scene, when they first meet Penny, she is also wearing sunglasses, which is no coincidence given what she is hiding. Having only recently discovered that she and Harry are related, Penny feels unwanted and unseen, and is secretly only 17. She maintains the facade of an older woman in order to leverage her sex appeal, yet her power and validation are inextricably linked to Harry, who is always the centre of attention. Harry is a larger-than-life music producer with a colourful past. Throughout the film, he talks constantly and is always performing, which is his way of avoiding having to be alone with the thought that he doesn't know how to truly share himself with someone. His proximity to success and the manner in which he surrounds himself with people distracts him from this fear, but Paul and Marianne both threaten this illusion. After arriving at the villa, Harry mentions the few Italian phrases that he knows, one of which is a description for a man who shits sentences and vomits his soul. Harry, of course, may as well be describing himself. There is a pointed shot shortly afterwards where the camera stays tight on his lips as they move rapidly, before slowly zooming out to reveal his full face. The way Guadagnino frames the scene draws attention to Harry's vulnerability, and him taking off his sunglasses as he enters the villa represents him lowering the mask. the mask of a man who fills every room with words which are designed to distract everyone, and himself, from the truth that he is lonely and incapable of love. He hates the idea that Marian is unable to use her voice, and that with Paul, she is content with silence. She is happy with something that he could never give her. Each character on the island is trying to maintain an illusion through their relationship with Marian, and ultimately, their love for her is conditional. Being in close proximity to someone with genuine power gives each of them a sense of validation and worth. But the price they pay for being in Marian's presence is that their true selves, with all their insecurities, are revealed. At the end of The Bigger Splash, Harry says something revealing.
We're all obscene. Everyone's obscene. That's the whole fucking point. We see it and we love each other anyway.
Here, Guadagnino is commenting on the idea that these people can't love each other for who they are, that they are all guarded, and worse, prepared to manipulate human companionship to gain control. And this is what's truly obscene, the nature of fame, the invisible authority it holds over others, the way people modify their behaviour around celebrities, desperate for just a hint of their power, all because that person can sing or play tennis well, and look quite good doing it.